On this episode of Rock Down South, we chat with country artist Megan Ashley. We discuss her background, her latest single, American Summer, and she even plays a couple of songs for us. We hope you all enjoy. Let's go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, a show where my friends and I chat with musical artists and ask them the questions we want to know about. On this episode, we had the opportunity to chat with country artist Megan Ashley. She's originally from Texas and has a brand new single out called American Summer. I thought it was fitting to release this episode right before the 4th of July, since it's a pretty patriotic song. I also really enjoyed the tune, and you all will get the opportunity to listen to her play it live and acoustic later on in the show. So without further ado, here's the interview. Megan, how are you doing these days?
Good. Busy as can be, but I've been doing good. What about you?
Hey, and things are good. Busy is good.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you got to jump on today. I was looking forward to chatting with you about your music and everything.
I'm excited. Super excited to be here.
Let's get into a little bit of your background. You're originally from Texas, right?
Absolutely. Texas forever.
Where in Texas?
San Antonio.
Okay. San Antonio. And then now you're in Nashville, right?
Correct. That is correct. Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, cool. How long have you been in Nashville?
A little over a year now, a year and a couple months.
How has that been?
It's been good. I mean, there's always stuff going on here in Nashville. And it's been great networking and just meeting so many people here. So it's been good.
Now, did you go to college right after high school, or did you come to Nashville?
I went to college. I got my bachelor's and my master's right after high school because I was like, okay, I need a good job that pays so I can do stuff, you know? So, so I got my bachelor's and my master's like right away. I graduated when I was like 23.
Oh, wow.
With my master's. So I was pretty young.
Bachelor's and master's. Oh, wow. What school?
UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio.
And so were you doing music while you were in college, or was it just recently?
Yeah. So I went to school for kinesiology, like pre-physical therapy. I love health and I love science and all that stuff. So that is what I got my bachelor's and my master's in. But I did play shows throughout grad school and I guess my bachelor's too, but really started playing shows in grad school to help pay for school. So yeah, so I've been playing music pretty much my whole life, but just really seriously, right after that.
Okay. You're playing shows and you're making a little bit of money to pay for college.
Yes.
That's interesting. So did you always know how to play guitar and sing, like from when you were a kid, or was that something you kind of developed a little bit later on?
So growing up, I played violin and piano. I taught myself there. My brothers, the piano and guitar were my brothers that he just never picked up. So I was just bored. So I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to play this because I love country music. I've always loved country music. And so I kind of taught myself some songs, just, with the internet as well. And so I played volleyball in high school and I was like, I'm not interested in music because like, what am I going to do with it kind of thing. And then after I quit volleyball, I picked up guitar, my brother's guitar, taught myself how to play. My dad bought me my own guitar. It was a pawn shop guitar that I still have. So that's when I started playing. And then I kind of, after did not sing great, I don't think from what I can remember. Definitely not how I sound now, but, definitely sound a lot better now. So definitely developed how to sing and properly and all that stuff later on. So.
Oh, that's cool. So let's talk music. Let's talk about that latest release of yours, American Summer. What was the idea behind that?
Yes. So when I was about to write the song, I literally was with my co-writers at breakfast and I was like, look, like I love the beach. I love summer and I love America too. But I was like, I want a fun song that is just like rocking that you can like play on the beach, like, or just, just be a fun summer song. Cause those are always my favorite songs. And I was like, what's something that also like captures like the values, like, that I grew up on in America And so we just came up with the title American Summer, which at that time hadn't been taken yet by a country artist. And so, yeah, so that was like the goal. So we went in the right, okay, we're going to title this American Summer, kind of like went around that. We rewrote it 3 times. And I just wanted to make sure in each verse to get some kind of like value, that I grew up on in the song. So that was how that came about.
Yeah, it's a fun song, and you put it out just a little while ago, right?
May 4th.
May 4th, the very start of summer.
Yes, sir. That was the goal.
Have you got to play it live?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I played it. I've been playing a lot of shows, but I think I played about 50 shows this year already. So I played it quite a bit at every show.
Oh, nice. Glad to hear that you're playing around.
Oh, yes.
So when it comes to other music, what do you have on the horizon? Are you planning more singles after this, or do you plan to release another EP?
Yeah. So I think from now on, it'll be pretty much singles because that's just the way to go. I do have a song planned to be released. I'm literally about to go in the studio for like in the next couple weeks, and that will be released on my birthday on July 23rd. And it'll be a beach song for sure, but a little not as fast as American Summer, but around that vibe.
Oh, great. Can't wait to hear it. We always need more beach songs, more happy songs for the summer.
Absolutely. Yes. This one will be a little more slower though, but yes.
Nice and chill.
Absolutely.
So, how would you describe your sound?
That's a really good question. I love that question. So, and that's something that, as a songwriter and, just pioneering this career like by myself kind of thing at the beginning, figuring out like, what do I want to do? Like, obviously, country. Like, I always want to make sure I sound country. I don't want to be country pop. Like, I just want to be country. And so, for me, though, as a songwriter, though, and as I've learned and I've grown and with the music I've already put out, kind of like, okay, I went to my producer. I was like, I want this to be country, and this is the song we have. There's so much like production that goes into it, and like finding the right producer to get the exact sound you want and the vibe and the energy you want in the song is so hard. Like, it's so hard, and I've learned that. And I have one here in Nashville that I've used for my past 30 songs, and he is incredible. And usually, like, okay, and sorry, I'm like making this super long, but like, he has pretty much done like what I wanted him to. Like for American Summer, it was so different originally. And I was like, it's not done. Like, we need to add more lead guitar in it to make it what it should be, what I'm envisioning in my mind. So yeah, so I've learned a lot about that. So with that being said, though, I get a lot like Maddie and Tay, which I find as a compliment because a lot of their stuff is pretty, or their original stuff is pretty country. But I definitely want to be, Southern country. For me, my lyrics is what I really focus on, and making sure that has like a good, like strong moral base that encourages people to do the right thing. That makes sense. I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I did not answer it, I feel like, but basically I want my sound to be country, closer to Red Dirt, but like sweet, like Lee and Womack, I would say. I love Lee and Womack, and so that's somebody I've always looked up to as a child because it was my mom's favorite. So Lee and Womack and like her original stuff. So I would say around that.
Okay, so that might be one of your musical influences.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other musical influences that you would say off the top of your head that you have been influenced by musically? We're going to talk a little bit later about like favorite artists and stuff like that, but stuff that's like kind of pushing your sound a little bit.
Honestly, there's like so many, I feel like, but definitely Leah Womack. I get a lot of Carly Pierce. Like, people are like, oh, you sound like Carly Pierce, which is a compliment because I love her. But I think she's a little bit different. Some of her stuff is a little bit more pop influence. But George Strait, I mean, if I could be like the female George Strait, like that'd be great,
That'd be cool.
I will say for this next song that I have coming out, though, there is a huge like Luke Combs influence in there and some Kenny Chesney vibes. So,
Oh, cool. That sounds fun. And you mentioned your producer was giving you a really good product at the end of the day. What's his name so we can all know?
yes, Paul Skolton. He's a county Q in Nashville, Tennessee, and Berry Hill.
All right. And in terms of more influences and questions like that, I got one for you a little bit more on the rock side, since this is the Rock Down South podcast. I'm not sure if you're a fan of rock, but we definitely are around here. We like a wide variety of music. But what's something you're listening to lately in the rock realm, if you listen to rock?
Yeah, so for sure. So I'm a big fan, and I mean a big fan of Cadillac 3. They're like very southern rock. I love them. They are so cool. Like they're Sweet Tea and Tabasco. Yeah, I have a lot of their songs I love that are on my playlist. So definitely Cadillac 3, I would say.
So you're digging the Cadillac 3 lately. Did you grow up listening to much rock music, classic rock, or anything like that?
I grew up in a household that I didn't know there was other genres beside country and like gospel. Yes, I mean a little bit. I will say like the first song I learned, honestly, but that's true though. I didn't know there was other like genres out there besides country and like Jesus music. But as I became cultured, I one of my first songs that I learned on guitar was Freebird. So
Oh, wow.
like some rock songs, just like classic, the classic. So
Cool, cool. So you never had like an emo phase. We were listening to a lot of like heavy modern stuff.
no, I mean, I don't know if Reliant K is like considered in that category, but I love them. They're so cool. I love, like, lyrically, I think they're just so intelligent. And so I was a huge fan of Reliant K back in the day. I mean, I still am. They're still great. And some of that, I guess you could call it church rock music.
Yeah, yeah. What about when you're at the gym? What are you listening to there? Like you want to get pumped up. You need something that's going to amp you up, make you feel like you want to go run or get on a treadmill or lift weights or something.
Yeah. Okay. That's a really good question. So, and I actually have like random playlists. I kind of just like whatever I'm in the mood for, I guess. But lately, I have like a beach playlist with like Jake Owen and Kenny Chesney. I like the upbeat songs. I love listening to those. I do typically listen to country when I work out, but when I'm really needing that little, I will listen to some like Cadillac 3, just a itty bitty little portion of rap. And oh my gosh, a 1,000 Foot Crutch. I like them a lot too,
Okay.
but typically country.
Yeah, you're country through and through. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So here's an interesting question you may not have been asked before. What is the worst show that you've ever played that comes to your mind? Maybe it was a bad performance you did, a bad crowd, a small crowd, or a weird venue. But what kind of comes to mind?
Well, recently, like this year, I did play a show back home in Texas. And as my allergies are today, which I've done really well, I feel like I really haven't had that many issues this year with allergies. But out of the 2 times I did, I was back home and I had a show. Well, first of all, I had all my equipment except for my mic stand, and that was in my Mustang I have at home, but it was at my mom's house. And I was like, oh, this is an issue. Thankfully, I got there early enough where I was like, hey, like, not to stress you out, mom, but can you bring me my mic stand? That was just like anxiety because I like to be prepared. I like to be there early and have everything set up. But I was like, that is something I'm going to need. So now I have a checklist every single time I leave to make sure I have everything. But at that show, my allergies were so bad. And I don't take shots at all, but I was like, I need a shot of something to help my voice because I could not sing. I mean, everyone said I sounded fine, but I was like, I know I can do better. But that was a pretty bad because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make it from the beginning. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through 3 hours of this. But we did, we made it. And it was a pretty big crowd too that was there. But we made it through and it was, I was like, I'm not talking after this. So do not ask me any questions. Do not conversate with. We just made it through and I was exhausted after, but that was a built-in character show. That is for sure.
Oh my gosh.
So
Was it just you or did you have a backing band with you?
it was just me.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Up there, just you and a microphone and the guitar.
Yes.
Sounds a little scary if your voice wasn't working the way you liked it to.
Oh yeah. With a shot of whiskey. Yep.
And for 3 hours, I mean, people forget about how long those shows are sometimes, but they can be
Oh
quite
yeah.
draining.
Absolutely. They're getting a little normal now. It's like, whatever.
Cool, cool.
Yes.
All right. And now Megan is going to play a couple of songs for us, right?
Yes. All right. This first song is called American Summer, my current release. And hope y'all like it. Here we go. Fishing on a Saturday night, babe, digging in the dirt. Daddy makes us find our own just to prove that dirt don't hurt. And when Sunday morning rolls around in a back row Baptist church pew, preacher talking about all things we should and probably shouldn't do. In this town where there's fireworks after baseball games, a hand over to hearts, that poor day of July remind us who we are. It's Leonard Skinner on the radio, country driving on the two-lane road, the wind it ends, you can't wait for another. It's a red, white, and blue American summer. Got a side job that starts in June, gas up that year's forward, driving 45 past the county signs, killing time cause we were bored. And I bug to see watch the sun go down when it does for my mama's house, with some sweet tea and a porch swing. Ain't no place I'd rather be than this town where there's fireworks after baseball games, a hand over hearts, that 4th day of July remind us who we are. It's Alan Jackson on the radio, country driving on a two-lane road, the wind it ends, you can't wait for another. It's a red, white, and blue American summer. Where there's fireworks after baseball games, a hand over hearts, that 4th day of July remind us who we are. It's Alabama on the radio, country driving on the two-lane road, the wind it ends, you can't wait for another. It's a red, white, and blue, a red, white, and blue American summer. Driving down River Road, Chattahoochee on the radio, here's to an American summer.
All right. American Summer. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
And I think you can do one more for us, right?
Yes, sir. I haven't recorded this one yet, but thinking about it. But I get a lot of feedback on it. People like it, so maybe we'll record it. But it's called "Don't Come to Texas." So here we go. I know it's hard to be Lone Star. Ain't no better place to be. Since you and I parted ways, I don't think you are
George off the radio. Billy packed his bags too. Little country sunsets ain't breathless. Sincerely, Texas. Yeah, I wish you happiness. Just one last request. Don't come to Texas. The blue ones really ain't that blue. The locals aren't as friendly as I've always told you. They took old George off the radio. Billy packed his bags too. Hill country sunsets ain't breathless. Sincerely, Texas.
All right, a little Texas music from Megan Ashley.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the interview. So these next three questions are what we close with and ask everyone. So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Okay, this is probably going to be really unusual. Well, not unusual, but I would say, and I've always tried to be like, make wise decisions and be cautious and all that stuff. But I would say for the people that like stress you out in life or like don't make you feel good. And I'm not saying a way of like if someone's trying to keep you accountable, like that's a positive thing. But if people are just like negative for no reason and cause you stress, that makes you gain weight and age you and don't deal with it. That's what I would tell myself. I'm like, because I put up a lot with a lot of people back then that if I could go back now, I'd be like, I wouldn't deal with that. Like next. So that's what I would tell myself. Because now I'm like, I see what stress does to your body. And I always try to take good care of myself. But that is something I would tell myself.
So toxic individuals, be aware of those people.
Yes. Like I used to want to like deal with it and be like, let's fix this. But now I'm like, nope, they are responsible for what they do. And you're responsible for what you do. And you don't need to stress about it. Let them go.
That's good advice. That's good advice. I've learned that very same thing, I guess, in the past several years. Just realizing that, you know, some people are a little bit toxic in your life and you don't have to mend every relationship. You want to play nice with people, you know, you don't want there to be
Absolutely.
bad blood, but you don't have to be buddy and have a relationship with people who might, you know, not be good for your soul at the end of the day.
Right. And it's something that, you know, you want them to make good decisions and do what's right, but not everybody chooses that. And you just realize that, you know, it's not them, it's just their decisions. Like, I mean, because I don't believe people are like toxic per se, but their behaviors are. I love counseling. I could talk all day about this stuff, but yeah, but just like letting them, you know, like, hey, like, okay, well, that's what you're going to choose. Or, you know, like, I'm not going to stress out about what you're doing. Like, I'm going to stay in my lane and just focus on myself and obviously love other people. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can only do so much and that's out of my control. So, but that causes stress. So don't let it cause stress.
Good answer. Good answer. So next question, what are you drinking lately? And if you don't drink alcohol, it could be anything refreshing that you like to drink.
I'm actually about to go to Cabo this weekend for one of my best friend's weddings. So I've been drinking a lot of water, a lot of lemon water.
Nice.
So I can feel like my best self when I step off that plane and get me a margarita for that whole weekend. So
What's your go-to drink? If you want to just, you know, what's your first drink if you go out, if you're with your friends or if it's somebody's birthday and you're out and there's a bar, what are you ordering?
yeah, it's anywhere between a ranch water and a margarita, to be honest. I like beer and I like some mixed drinks, but I've just been sticking with that lately. It's just easy. Or a White Claw. There's not too many carbs.
Yeah, great answer. White Claws and the seltzers are great for the summer.
Absolutely.
So as you know, this is the Rock Down South podcast. So what is something that you love about the South?
Yes. So actually, it's kind of funny because, like, I have a goal of going to all the states in America, the USA. And so, as soon as I do that, I told myself I never want to leave the South again because it's just so different everywhere else. And I mean, okay, where to start? Like, I love the South. Like, everyone I know, all my family lives in the South, and we just keep it that way, you know? So I will never ever like move out of the South. I love the hospitality, the food, mainly the food, okay? The weather. I can deal with the heat. I don't mind it. I love Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia's cool too. Um, and so mainly the food, the people. I love the values in the South, Southern comfort, all that good stuff. There's just so many things about it. It's beautiful too.
Hey, thank you so much, Megan, for being a part of the podcast today. Where can people find and connect with you online? And what do you have in the works that people should know about?
So after this next song, I plan, and obviously it's not completely set in stone, but between the next year for sure, plan to release some Texas songs, like songs about Texas. So I have a couple I've written, I've been playing at shows that people love. So definitely want to get those out, hopefully. So something more acoustic, a little bit more Western. So that's what's in the works after this next song. And you can find my music anywhere music is streamed or sold. Again, my name is Megan Ashley, and you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. I believe you can do that on iTunes too at Megan Ashley. And then my website is meganashleymusic.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We had a really good time chatting with Megan and hearing her play that new single. And she was really pleasant to talk with and super patriotic, which we love. Definitely want to see her play a live show soon. Make sure to go follow Megan on all of her social media pages and give her latest single, American Summer, a listen. Check out all our content at rockdownsouth.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests on the podcast are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.